This video is about the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. This was when the people from India were rebelling about British rule. Following the introduction of the Rowlatt Act 1919, which gave British authorities the power to imprison Indians suspected of sedition without trial, Amritsar became a local point for the independence movement. After a series of strikes in which many protesters and 3 British bank managers were killed, Brigadier General Reginald Dyer was called upon to return order to the city. On April 13th, 1919, more than 5,000 Indians convened for a peaceful protest in Jallianwala Bagh, a public courtyard surrounded by high walls on all sides, with only a narrow lane on the northern side for entry and exit. Under orders to make an example of the protesters, Dyer arrived with 150 troops and ordered his soldiers to open fire. When the barrage of bullets ceased, nearly 400 protesters were dead, according to the British authorities, although Indian National Congress, the political party, placed the figure at more than 1,000, and around 1,500 were wounded, including many women and children. Dyer's actions was supported by the British establishment, but described as monstrous by Winston Churchill and as savage and appropriate folly by Edwin Montagu, the Secretary of State for India. Nobel Prize-winning poet Rabindranath Tagore renounced his knighthood in protest against the massacre. The incident galvanized Indian nationalism. Mohandas Gandhi responded with a program of civil disobedience, announcing that cooperation in any shape or form with this satanic government was sinful. Reginald Dyer died in retirement in England in 1927. Michael O'Dwyer, governor of the Punjab at the time of the massacre, was assassinated by the Sikh revolutionary Urdham Singh in London in 1940. Richard Attenborough's acclaimed film, Gandhi, released 1982, dramatically reenacts the events at Jallianwala Bagh. I'm in this park amongst all the Indians today, quite shameful of what the British did. When I was at school, we learnt how Britain was great in the world as children. We heard about the involvement of Britain in the slave trade, Clive of India, and it looked very impressive being a 13, 14, 50-year-old student learning about Britain in history. But as we look at the British Commonwealth history today, I'm absolutely ashamed at some of the action that Britain has conducted. And some of this action that you see in this picture today with the bullet holes in the wall is still represented in areas like the Gaza Strip. And these bullet holes are a testimony of the massacre caused by the English ordering the massacre, the murder, the butchering of innocent Indians. And these bullet holes on the wall are a testimony to the darker side of British colonial rule around the world. It's okay saying Britain ruled the waves, Britannia rules the waves, seeing Britannia on the old coins of our country, but there are shameful acts which are glossed over. And I'm hoping this video will show people that there is a darker side to the British Empire. And in Plymouth Sound, recently there was a new sign saying no new worlds as a result of how the police in America were treating black people. So suppression of people is an old aspect of human development throughout the centuries, and it's still happening in the world today. So I'm going to look around this park in wonderful Amritsar in the Punjab state in India, showing complete reverence to the history of their great nation, which is a subcontinent. Britain, by some Indians, is looked upon as a blessing because we brought organised administration, and least corruption. And I'm glad today that we are looking back in our history with great respect and humility and absorbing what happened in our past.